All right, greetings, family. I was just trying to make sure that my live is public so that people who may not be friends with me can see it, or you can share the stream if you like. I am on YouTube as well, and I'm also live streaming on my Read Black with Me page. But I just wanted to do a quick talk a little bit about some things going on today, and talk about a solution to some of the things that are going on today as well. So when I woke up, I was determined to make a post about one of our great ancestors, uh, Mammy, Mamie. I would prefer Mamie Clark, um, and because she's important. Anyway, I wanted to make this post about Mamie Clark because she was born in Hot Springs, born and reared in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Y'all know that I'm from Arkansas, a little town in southeast Arkansas, and everybody's familiar with Hot Springs. I mean, it's a tourist destination. It's famous for its bathhouses. It's famous for its hot springs. And so when I saw that, I was like, wow, I didn't know that, and I was proud to know that. Last week, Brother Malik and I were talking about some of our ancestors and not knowing where they were from or where they originated. And we were talking about Al Green. We all knew Al Green is from Forest City, um, but we didn't know. I didn't know about Miss. I think her name is Ray Montagne. She was instrumental in. Um she was a scientist, a mathematician. Just learned about her a couple years ago. But anyway, so I had learned about Mamie Clark, and I knew about the doll test, but I didn't know that the person behind it was a fellow Arkansan. Just imagine what that would do to a young black girl growing up in Southeast Arkansas to know that this pioneer in the field of psychology was from Hot Springs, Arkansas. But anyway, she was born on April 18th, 1917, and she would go on to Howard University, where she would meet her husband, Dr. Kenneth Clark. And so they were specific in their studies. She wanted to work with children. So at first she wanted to major in education. She wanted to teach, but then she had some problems with some of the professors, and instructors in that area. So once she met Kenneth Clark, he persuaded her to change her major to psychology. And so they were very specific in their studies. They studied the psychology of Black children. And her thesis was titled The Development of Consciousness in Negro Preschool Children. And the premise of it was she wanted to learn at what age do children become aware that they are Black? At what age do children become aware that they are Black and that they are different? And so she wrote her thesis on that, and they would continue their study. And so in 19, I had to write some notes because their story is so interesting and significant. In 1946, no, I'm sorry, that's not the right year, but in the early 1940s, um, they studied 253 children from ages 3 to 7. 134 of those children were from Arkansas, and 113 of those children was from Massachusetts. And so, the doll test where they had the two dolls and they asked them questions like, which doll is the prettiest? Which doll do you think is the nicest? Which one is the same color as you as well? And so, 2 out of 3 children picked the white doll. Now, mind you, this was in the early 40s, but if you go on YouTube, if you Google, you will find that the study was revised and it was administered in these times, and it was basically the same results. So their research was used during the Brown versus Board of Education case. And, I have left some links in the comment section of my post today, and one of them was a YouTube video of Dr. Kenneth Clark, actually talking about how desegregation is harmful. Segregation is harmful. Racism is harmful. In children as well. And so, my question is, is segregation harmful, or do we think that it is? because we are constantly propagandized. We're constantly fed a constant diet of inferiority, and we don't even have to be around them. We can and we can be around them. Excuse me, we can be around them. In fact, it's because of that the doll test is no better today. But they went on and and studied the effects of racism on children, and there is an effect. A lot of times we talk about we need to protect our children, and most times we just think physically, but we need to protect them psychologically as well. So yeah, so the test, is very interesting because it could be interpreted uh, any way that you like. But I prefer to look at the historical activity and assess it in a way that is will gain us more clarity and understanding on why we haven't moved forward much in current day. Greetings, Brother Jahi and Sister Mary. Glad y'all tuned in. I'm not going to be very long, but I did just want to make that point. So as I was posting about Mama Mamie, when I was on social media on Facebook, I noticed two things that were trending early this morning. The first one was the student sub fight, and um, the second one was on our young man Ralph Yarl, who was shot and left for dead, in my opinion, by elderly white man. I'll say older white man in Kansas City, and because he had gone to the wrong house to pick up his twin brothers. Now, when I think about those two events, I think about what I just talked about with the doll test, with racism in our children, with racism as a whole of this country. And I think about um, assimilation. One brother, Arthur, he made, no, that was Sean, made an interesting comment on my post. He said, uh, desegregation is not integration. Let me say that again. Desegregation is not integration. And I was like, you right on point. I think desegregation is akin to assimilation. When you integrate, you take two and make a new. So when we integrated, or more like desegregated, we didn't take anything. Our ancestors didn't take anything, right? So we had to put our identity, our culture, our morals, our values, our standards, we had to leave them at home, and we had to start adhering to someone else's. And so that first incident I talked about, the student teacher debacle, um, is because of that. I mean, what are our standards? What are we doing? What are we doing? Uh, who are we acting like? Who are we acting like? I mean, I'm not here to argue and debate and go on and on about who was in the wrong. I ain't seen nobody say why or ask why. Why is this even taking place? Why? Why is this even taking place in a school? I grew up at a time when, of course, we didn't have all these other things going on, but I wouldn't dare disrespect an adult. And an adult would not dare do some of the things that our adults are doing. So, I talk about it all the time, and that's why this live is titled Village, because we have lost our village mentality. We don't have any accountability. Everything goes. So if everything goes, everything happens, right? And nobody is going to say, okay, you know what? We need to stop. We need to take a breather. We need to figure out what we need to do, because we spiraling, y'all. We are spiraling downward. We're spiraling downward. To sit up and watch that and talk about it and go back and forth about, well, if it was my child, I would have did this, or if man, we gonna have to do better than getting on social media being social media bad guys or tough, bad social media people. We got to get up off our butts and start doing something about this. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt anybody but us and our children. So, um, Sankofa, we got to go back to what we already know. Then, people are saying, well, what if it would have been your child? I would hate to think that my child would be do something like that. You know, um, it's just so much. It's just loaded. But I don't want to go there. I don't want to offer any assessment of the situation. I want to offer an assessment of why these things are happening, why we are seeming to be out of control. Because we are teachable, because we don't want to listen, because we have desegregated and we have taken on other people's personalities, we've taken on their customs, and we aren't practicing ours. I saw one sister say, that's why I'm so adamant about teaching my own at home, because I'm teaching mine the right way, but they have to go out and they have to be among children that aren't being taught, that aren't being held accountable, that are behaving any kind of way. And it's not just the children, it's the adults. Who are they mimicking their behavior? Really, children do what they see and hear. It's just the society, man, and these electronics, our addiction to them. It's just insane. It's insane. There is so much loaded into that scenario that we need to unpack and be truthful and honest about as a community. Because until we do that, this shit gonna still happen. And it ain't just about the sub and the young lady. It's about the classmates, the psychological and the mental anguish that they have to witness and go through and experience on a day to day. Yeah, we got to do better. We got to do better because it ain't nothing out there for them but some trouble if we don't. Then I want to talk about Ralph Yara, the young man. How in the hell do you feel like you got to shoot somebody that's walking up to your house? He was a little boy. He was a kid. He was a child. And this man shoot him. Not once, but twice. And one of them was in the head. His life has changed forever. Not just his life, his parents, his family. His life has changed forever. And when I was reading some of the stories about him, they were saying that he was an excellent student, a great musician. See what I'm saying? You can raise your child to be great, but this society that we live in, sometimes, it makes me wonder. I'm a mother of a son, and that hit home for me. My son could be riding down the wrong street. So I'm going to talk about the solution because I don't want to spend a lot of time on the problem because we know what the problem is. We know. We see it every day. We are reminded daily of what our problem is. And we just want to stick our head in the sand and say, it couldn't have been mine, or my child is covered, or my child is good, or we good. Like Baba Malcolm X said, when I is replaced by we, even illness becomes wellness. If we don't start thinking of ourselves as a collective, if we don't get back to being in that, creating a village for ourselves, do our children even have a future? Do we even have a future? So I was looking up, they finally charged the man. They trying to charge this old man. At first they just held him for not even a day and they let him go. So they finally charged him with aggravated assault. Aggravated assault. So let me just read you what the FBI says aggravated assault is. Aggravated assault is an unlawful attack by one person upon another for the purpose of inflicting severe or aggravated bodily injury. Yeah. So I think he was trying to do more than cause this young brother bodily injury. I think he was trying to finish him, kill him. I think that's what it was. You're shooting somebody in the head, right? So, it's just sad. It makes you sad, makes you angry, frustrates you. You just have a variety of emotions when you start thinking about everything that we deal with. When you start thinking about the sickness of this society and how we have taken on the characteristics. Barbara Marcus, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, if the Negro is not careful, he will drink the poison of Western society and die from the effects of it. Die from the effects of it. Y'all, we drinking this poison and we thinking we good and we thinking because we got this nice house and this new car and our children can wear J's and they got the latest electronics, that we good. Not realizing that the whole time that we are ingesting poison. So, Jahi, we're sick, mother, time to get unsick. The Yoruba never let their culture brought us over into theirs. Baba Baruti. Baba Baruti is one of my favorites, and I'll say I shade to that. We got to get back to our culture. I'm so thankful and grateful that I grew up at a time when those values and morals were still in place. And we were held accountable, and we had elders. There are people now that don't want to be elders. Why would you not want to be an elder, to share your wisdom, to guide the next generation? Why do people not want to be elders? It's an honor. But this youth obsessed culture, we cannot continue this, y'all. We got to have that ecosystem. I heard somebody describe it as an ecosystem. We got to have that ecosystem. We got to have the elders. We got to have the warrior class. We got to have the children. We got to have that ecosystem where we're all developing and helping one another. We got to have it. We got to get back to that. So, it's so much going on, and I'm glad that Sister Valerie, Sister Mary, Brother Jahir on, because they are part of our organization, the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club, and we are boots on the ground. It's more than about guns. We are here in the community, serving the people in our community, and I wanted to bring to light 2 cases here in Mississippi. So it's no, Sandra, the generation of elders are only 35 and 40. That's not elder, that's the warrior class. That's a warrior class. I'm talking about people in their 70s and 80s who still want to be out here and say that, I'm not studying them children, or bless their heart, or they not taking an active role in using their wisdom to guide and direct those that are 35 and 45. Now, I will say the 35 to 45 generation, we are grandparents, and we don't want to behave in such a manner. We want to be out here doing what our children are doing. So I think because I talk about aging gracefully a lot, because I saw when I was growing up. Just because we look great, we doing things, but we still need to age gracefully. There's a season, and there's seasons of life, and we have to understand that. I know that our elders and our ancestors understood that. That's why they acted accordingly. The real elders are not dead. They're not. Some of them might be too sick to talk to us, but that's why we need to go to them. I have an uncle I have all my uncles and older cousins. I do have some that are elders. And I go and I talk with them and I spend time with them. So I do. The elders are people who have wisdom. Now, there are some people that are advanced age, but I wouldn't consider them elders. Those people are older, Sandra. I'm sorry, Sandra. And that's what you're talking about. I think you're talking about some of these people who want to act like they are not, want to say that they aren't, but then there are some who are, but don't want to take that active role. So it's just something that we have to get back to and think about. As I age, I find it an honor to be able to instill wisdom and guidance into the young generation. I love the generation, of the Jahi generation, and just a little bit older, calling me mama. I love that their children consider me as a Gigi. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to guide and impart wisdom into a younger person. And believe it or not, and I mean, it's rewarding because I've learned a lot myself uh, from these younger brothers and sisters, because I like to take the time to listen and use their insight to help me become a better person in this role. So it's about communication too. So yeah, but I just know people who are up in age who have a certain skill set. They do things, they sew, they cook, they do things of that nature, and we need that in our community. We need them to pass it on, uh, because right now it's like it's a badge of honor not to be able. I don't cook, really. I don't do this. What? And we need those values, those guides, we need those morals, we need those standards passed down. And because I know that we wouldn't have all this foolishness and nonsense going on if we did those things. So I was saying that, the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club is heavily involved in justice for Jaheim McMillan. This is the young brother who was killed by Gulfport police officer back in, I think it was October. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, Sister Val, Sister Mary, Brother Jaheim, but we're still fighting for justice for Jaheim down in Gulfport. We're still fighting for justice for Rasheem Carter in Taylorsville, Mississippi. This was the young brother that was murdered and was fed to the hogs. And I know a lot of y'all don't even know about these things. I know you don't, because we stuck on stuff that really at the end of the day does not matter. But we got stuff going on all the time. We got things going down on down in Jackson, Mississippi. And it's way more than the HB 1020 bill that would give the legislator of Mississippi the power to create its own court system in Jackson. It's other things going on in the city of Jackson that people need to be aware of, and we'll be talking about that in the future. So there's a lot going on, but I just wanted to take this time to talk about our mama, Mamie Clark, her study on Black children with the doll test. I wanted to talk about the spiraling downward of us by using the fight at the school as an example. Y'all know that shouldn't even be happening. That shouldn't even be happening. You know, why is it happening? What are we so angry about? Why are we so addicted to our electronics? Why do we want to be bad in this aggression? What is feeding this aggression in all of us? What is it? You know, uh, when are we going to do something about our young men being unprotected in these streets? So I have one solution, and I'm going to share my screen. So if you are familiar with me, you know that we have the Ashe Academy here in Coldwater. And so one thing that we are trying to do is be perpetually funded. So we're asking at least, at least, at least 100 people to commit to $10 a month. $10 a month. What is that? That's not even a sacrifice. That's not even having to give up something to donate to us, right? That's a donation. No, it's an investment. It's an investment. Well, you want to know what would be your return on investment? A secure future, teaching our babies who they are, teaching our babies to love themselves as themselves, as Dr. Francis Cress Wilson has instructed us. It takes a village, y'all. And if we don't get back to that, if we don't get back and create our village, no one will. There's that saying, if not us, then who? But I say, if not us, then no one. If not us, then no one. So you can Cash App Oasis L, and that's a lowercase L, $10 a month. And once you Cash App us in the memo line, just provide your email address, and we'll be sending out our monthly newsletter because we document everything that we're doing with our babies. And you'll also receive our yearly calendar when it's published. Invitations to come to the center, to come and watch our babies present what they're learning. And why wouldn't you want to invest in the children, want to invest in our future? We talk about the children are our future, but we are their present. It takes a village. It takes a village. That's the African proverb. And then the second part of the proverb is, and that child, and I'm paraphrasing, that doesn't feel that the child will burn down the village to feel its warmth if it doesn't receive it. Don't y'all see that happening? Don't y'all see our youth doing things to get the attention of the village? Some of these things are just trying to get our attention. Our children need us. They need us. We need to be a village. We need to step up and take care of our children like every other community does. $10 a month. That's not even a sacrifice, like I said. It's not even a sacrifice. You're not taking from one thing to donate to us. So, again, I want y'all to look at the work of Dr. Mamie and Kenneth Clark and assess it in today's time. And then look at all the things that are going on around us. Look at the incident with the student in the sub. Look at that. And it says that not about who was wrong or who shouldn't have did this or who shouldn't have said that, but why did it happen to start with? Why is it happening to start with? Where's all this aggression coming from on either end? Look at the aggressor and the aggression of our young brother who was shot. Brother Ralph. Look at that. We talk about we need to heal. Where are we going to do that? We don't have any safe spaces to heal on our terms based on our experiences. Oh, yeah, we do. We have Restoration New Direction Culture Center. And when we have Saturday school, this Saturday from 10 to 2, we'll probably have 7 children. We talk about what we don't get in the school system. We talk about what we need. And then when we offer the programs and the services, we don't show up. It takes a village. If you can get your child to the game, if you can get your child to the entertainment, then you can get your child here. It's not an extension of the school day. We make it interactive, engaging while they're learning at the same time. Y'all, it takes a village, and I am so adamant. There are some days I get up, I'm like, I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. But the ancestors won't let me. I love us too much. I love us too much to give up. One thing I was going to say when I was up making that post this morning about Mama Mamie, I saw 2 things that broke my heart because it was attack on Black humanity. The first one was us, Black humanity. The second one was somebody, our historical enemy, the attack on Black humanity. Y'all, we got to do better. We've got to do better. We got to do better, y'all. And it breaks my heart that we can't even understand that we got to do it. If not us, then no one. I'm tired of us talking about and saying all this theory floating around out there. All this theory. But then when you start talking about, okay, let's expand our Shea Academy. Let's offer this. We got to do more than one Saturday. We got a whole society out there that's teaching our children detrimental shit every day. But we want to sit up here and think that because we got a house, a car, a job, our kids, our children wearing J's, they got the latest electronics, they making A's in school, that they straight. No, the hell they ain't. They ain't straight. We can't even control what happened when our children leave out the door. Can't control it. I just told you I got a son that I worry about all the time. You can't control that. So you think you good because you got all these things? Man, we ain't safe. Y'all, we got to stop playing. Stop playing. We got to get serious. So far, we got 5 people committed to $10 a month. 5 people committed to $10 a month. But yet, you'll go to Starbucks in the morning. That's at least $15 right there. You go to McDonald's. You go to all these different places and give them your money, and they don't respect us one bit. But you'll keep going back, giving them your money, but you won't commit $10 to our children. Come on, y'all. And don't tell me about no damn grant. When you won't reach down in your pocket and you look like me, you black like me, and you won't reach down in your pocket and donate $1, but you want to tell me to apply for a government grant where they know what's going on. They won't even give us enough money to run our schools properly. But you want to tell me to apply for a grant when your black ass won't even give me $1? What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? We can't be that crazy, y'all. We can't be. It takes a village. A village. It don't take a grant. It takes a village. We need each other. I need y'all. I need y'all to come to the center. If you got a skill set, if you got anything that you can pour into the life of our children, we need it. Sister Mila, I appreciate you for coming in and doing wellness with our babies. Making sure that they getting up, moving around, asking them, are they drinking enough water every day? Telling them the importance of eating fruits and vegetables. Y'all, that's pouring into our babies. Y'all, I appreciate you for coming in and speaking to our children. Showing them how to line up and do formation drills with them. Speaking life into them. The weekend we went to Rolling Fork. The devastation is unreal, y'all. And Jahi, being the leader that he is, had the youth down there going in. Sister Mila posted the picture on her page about that. We need that. We need all of us. We need all of us. I don't know what the hell y'all think a village is. But anyway, I'm going to end because I didn't want to be long, but I wanted to be strong, Jahi. And I know it was the ancestors that had me come and speak that word because, y'all, we got to do better. I'm sitting up here, I'm surrounded, I'm looking at Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, one of my favorite people. And I'm looking at the quote, I won't rest until Black children are taught to love themselves as themselves. Because you know what happens when you love yourself as yourself? You'll love your brother. You'll love your sister. And you want to see them do better. I'm sitting here looking at Muhammad Ali and his quote, if your dreams don't keep you up at night, or if your dreams don't scare you, you're not doing enough. I'm looking at Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture says, our fathers had to run. We ain't running no more. I'm looking at Dick Gregory. I'm looking at Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, Medgar Evers, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. John Henry Clark, Huey P. Newton. We got them. We got them. We got everything. These people our ancestors laid the blueprint down. We had the foundation. It's time we build on it. It's time we start doing the work and building on it. When is the knowledge? When are we going to have enough knowledge? I'm tired. Well, we got to have the knowledge. We got it. You build, you continue, you reassess, and you keep building. You don't just wait. Hell, we've been doing that. What all these institutions around here, they steady building. And when they feel like something ain't working, they go back and they reassess, they adjust, and they keep going. They keep going. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we've been doing here at the Culture Center with Ashe Academy. Y'all, I'm so excited. We doing the Harlem Renaissance this Saturday. And our babies are going to learn about their great ancestors, the artists, the writers, the visual people. We're going to learn about Harlem, what it was, how it was gentrified, and how it's all coming back around. We're going to learn all about that so that they can know that our ancestors built something and they can do the same. Cousin T, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. On another note, I just showed Scott. Yes, my hair is still up. And see, that's a whole nother skill set. Sister Mila's daughter, Skylar, she did these fishtails for us Saturday, and I still have mine up. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Our children, they have so much talent. They had that kuumba, the creativity, and they had to have a safe space to develop those. So anyway, I'm gonna go home and read something with my granddaughter. And I just want to remind you all that this coming month, well, we have Saturday school this Saturday from 10 to 2 here at the Culture Center. And as I said, we'll be talking about and speaking on and learning about the Harlem Renaissance. And it's from 10 to 2. We'll do our activities. We'll have our movement. We'll have great vegan lunch and snacks. So the program is ages. We start with really 3 to 4 on up. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Monday, I will be having the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club on. I've started this book, Last Man Standing: The Tragedy and Triumph of Geronimo Pratt. A very, 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 very good read. And I encourage you all to check it out and check us out. I'll be making a post Monday to remind everybody that we'll be on at 6:00. So until then, y'all have a great Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wellness Wednesday. And have a great Wednesday as well. Thank y'all for tuning in and being patient with me. And just sticking with me. Thank y'all. Y'all energy was great tonight, and it made me tap into the essence of what I wanted to say and be effective. So y'all have a great night. Peace and Black Power.